So today I went to my local fish store to see my buddy Daryl, and of course I had to leave with something. I didn't really intend to buy anything, but I went there just to get a water test done and saw a few things I had to pick up. One of which was, I already had the lace rock, some cichlid food in pellet form. You know, we'll do frozen hookworms and stuff later, but right now they had some cichlid pellets, so I went ahead and picked up some of those. And I also grabbed a pro level water test kit, just because then I don't have to go to the fish store all the time to test my water, especially on the little 10-gallon tank, which definitely ebbs and flows through its cycle much more volatilely than the big tank behind me. And then what I actually got most tempted by was the Versatop setup for a 75 or 90. I have a 90 behind me, and if you come take a look at this here, you'll see the previous owner of this cut some plexiglass lids, and they did a good job. But if you're not familiar with plexiglass, it will warp under humidity. I ran into this problem a lot with tarantula tanks, and from time to time you gotta flip it over so it warps back the other way. And so, you know, I'd have to put this one on that side and flip it because they're keyed here. But they're also kind of a pain to interact with. You can see they just knock the light around to get them to seat. They're pretty heavy, and then the light doesn't stay seated. So definitely suckered in by the Versatop setup. My only concern is that this tank here is from possibly the 90s, and I don't know if these internal dimensions are still standard for what the standard was back then. But if they are, this is going to make my life a lot easier. Pop this guy open here. Pull one of these out. I was already debating going to the local glass shop and getting just glass pieces cut like this, or maybe cutting them in half and hinging them myself, or having them do it. I also have a buddy that does run a glass shop, but that involves running errands, and my time is worth more to me than my money. And so this might be a tad bit more expensive, but it's a tad bit more convenient too. So let's check our dimensions here. Get rid of that guy. And I think on this side, let's run the short end up to the front. Oh, it's perfect. Well, the glass is, of course, much clearer. We've got a spot back here for that little plastic gasket that we can cut, and then just an adhesive little guy there. And now we won't have to interfere with our light bar every time we want to get into this tank. Oh, it looks like it opens better the other way though. Pull this out. Flip it over. Perfect. Wow, that does definitely look better. It definitely works better, and really was pretty cheap. This guy goes back here and only needs a minor little cut in it for some wires, and will be perfect. Awesome. Not sure it would be possible to be happier with this purchase. So I used a Dremel tool to cut the plastic piece on the back of the Versatop, nice and smooth to allow the pump wires to go through. I'm running them what I do believe to be upside down because they actually fit that way. Something about the bevel to this makes them stick like straight up when you run them the other way, so this is the way they're gonna fit. versus being the tremendous improvement that does not interfere with my light. Oh, I can rest them on my light, even better. Alright, the only thing I have left to do tonight is drop in the rest of my lace rock to go ahead and create a little bit more of a hiding spot than the fish have currently. They seem to utilize one mostly and kind of fight over it just a little bit, so I want to take the other hiding spot I have, make it a little bigger, a little darker, and kind of give a supplementary one. I have 2 more pieces of clean lace rock. We're going to go ahead and drop those in there, but I need to take some water out because, of course, if I drop in 2 gallons of space worth of rock, 2 gallons of water has to go somewhere. I already have filtered water that I can drop in there as soon as I'm ready to top off again. So almost like a mini little bit of dilution to it. But let's go ahead, get some water out of there, get this rock in there, and then I'll go ahead and show you what we did. So this is the hiding spot we're currently going to modify. It's just not dark enough or deep enough. They like to kind of fight over this one just a little bit here. He really likes it, but he tries to kick out the yellow guy whenever the yellow guy tries to go and pal around with him in there. So we're going to let him have separate ones. So I went ahead and put the bigger piece of lace rock on there. It's still bubbling as its pores fill with water and the air seeps out of it. It's such a porous material. And then there's the other piece we had on top, and it doesn't look that stable, but it's kind of wedged under that one, and it's actually surprisingly stable. Here's the yellow guy that likes to shoot through all the holes in these rocks like tunnels. Oh, and his convict buddy. Haven't got a name for these two yet. I was thinking Bill and Ted, but who knows? Not sure. What are your ideas? Go ahead and comment down below. Alright, that's going to do it for me for the night. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick water change on my 10-gallon that sits in my bedroom. And then it's going to be the end of my evening. Go ahead and click that subscription box if you want to keep up with the updates and maybe see the awesome peacock cichlid we're trying to get our hands on this weekend. Or if you want to see a tour of my local fish store, Daryl's going to go ahead and show us around. They've got a 45-year-old caiman in there and a nurse shark, so it'll definitely be worth it. If you want to make sure you don't miss that, get that bell on. That'll ensure you get a notification every time we throw up a video. And as always, thanks for watching.